Robmacca's Tales from the Attic. Continuing the story of the mystery graveyard in today's Tales from the Attic. The coffin. "I'm going," I said. "Don't forget you won't get a kiss." "All right," I said. "Shall I open it?" "Yes, go on then," Michelle said. So I put my hand on the coffin and opened it. Michelle and Joanne didn't look. "What a horrible sight," I said. It was not dead, it was alive. And then the thing started to move. You should have seen us run. I ran as fast as my legs would carry me. Michelle and Joanne also ran. I tripped over. Michelle ran back to see if I was all right, but the thing in the coffin got her. She shouted, "Get off me!" I got up, but Joanna said, "Don't, or he may kill you and her." "She is my wife and I must save her," I said. The man from the coffin was walking backwards with Michelle. They got through an old fire exit. I ran out of the door with the hole in. Joanne followed me. "Stop! Stop! You're risking our lives," she said. But I took no notice. Look at the wonderful pictures. Art, I tell you. Art. The chase. I carried on running. Michelle was convinced that I'd get her free. I was sneaking upon the person from the grave. I climbed upon the church roof and jumped onto the person from the coffin, but I missed. I started to run with Michelle. I ran after him and Joanne ran after me. He must have hidden behind a gravestone. After 5 minutes, I gave up. But where was Joanne? I started to run to look for the ladies. I found Joanne. She was behind a gravestone. She had seen Michelle and the man from the coffin. I walked up to her and we watched them. Michelle shouted and broke loose and ran to us. But where was the mystery man from the coffin? Find out soon. The mystery man. Where was he? Who was he? "What happened?" I said. "He didn't do a thing to me," Joanne said. "What does he look like?" "I don't know," Michelle said. "He didn't have a face." "What?" I said. "His hands were rough," Michelle said. "Did he touch you?" Joanne said. "Yes, he did. In fact, when he touched me, we disappeared." "So that's where you were," I said. "Yes, that's where we were," she said. Is that a picture of the church? "What's that noise?" Joanne whispered. "Look, it's the mystery man." "Pass me that wood over there," I said. "I've got a penknife with me, so that gives me an idea." I made the piece of wood sharp. Now see what will happen. The end of the mystery man. Joanne said, "What are you doing?" "I'm going to finish that mystery man." "Darling, don't. It is dangerous," Michelle said. "Shut up. I've got to do it. That's if you want to come out of here alive," I said. "You two stay here while I go to get that man." "Okay," Michelle said. So I got my sharp piece of wood. I walked away. Michelle and Joanne went into the church. I looked around to see if I could find him. Suddenly he jumped out on me. We started to fight. I dropped my wood. I rolled over and picked up my piece of wood. He stood still and looked at me. I quickly stuck the sharp piece of wood in him and he died. Michelle and Joanna gone. I started to walk when suddenly I heard a noise. It was going sss, sss. It was a snake. I got my penknife out. The snake was by my foot. I dropped my penknife on it. and it died. I carried on walking. "It's very dark in here," I said. I was wondering what Michelle and Joanne were doing. 5 minutes later, bang! Hour later, I must have fallen over a gravestone. "I must get back soon. I've been out here for 2 hours," I said. "There's the church." I walked into the church. "Michelle, Joanne, I'm back." But there was no reply. I looked around, but Michelle and Joanne had gone. Have they been killed? Or have they come to look for me? I said to myself. I'm going home. I walked out of the church. I shouted, "Michelle, Joanne, where are you?" I walked around the graveyard to see if they were playing a joke, but nobody was there. "I'm going home," I said. "But if you think I'm staying here, you must be joking." So I found my way out and I walked down the street and past the chip shop. I looked at my watch. It was 5:55. I went past the high street and up to my house. Before I unlocked the door, I thought, what a shame my wife and my wife's friend is dead. It won't be the same without her. But when I went in, guess who was there? Yes, it was Michelle and Joanne. At first, I thought I was seeing things. Michelle said, "Oh, hello," continuing from where we left off. Michelle said, "And where did you get to? We looked for you, but soon we came home. I thought you were dead. A snake tried to get me, but I killed it. Then I fell over a gravestone," I said. "Nothing happened to us," Joanne said. "Well, these two men were watching us on the way home," Michelle said. I picked up the phone and phoned the Times. Next day, we looked in the paper. There's a picture of the Times. Oh yes. The horror at the graveyard. Robert, Michelle, Joanne had a mystery, blah 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 blah, and it goes on. This is my second book. Oh yeah, that's the end of the story, by the way. My first one was Terror of the Madman, which was also horror. This book only took 3 days to write. I was 12 on the 18th of the 1st, 81. And on the back, my thanks to Mr. Hillier for giving me this paper. And that concludes the story of The Mystery Graveyard. Rob Macca's Tales from the Attic.